It is handmade with a piece of leather on top. It has and it just sits right there on top of your trigger, and it's rounded on top. So whenever you pull back, your finger rocks and rolls over the top of it instead of just mashing down and then getting, you know, that dent into your finger. And the coolest part about this is that it raises your finger up. I never ever thought about it until I run into Ashley Bryson, which is a really awesome artist and a really good person, just a great guy over in the UK. Met him on Facebook, but he sent these to me to try out, which, I mean, I was completely blown away. But anyway, it raises your finger up, so it takes a lot of that tension off right here, and I really get it hard right here. It's just really very painful. But if you use this and you raise that trigger up and you get a hold of him and get him to make you some of these, I'm telling you, it'll change your life. I'm telling you, as far as how long I can airbrush now, I can airbrush forever with it, you know, because my hand isn't in that precarious position, and you would think that you wouldn't think that it would make that much of a difference raising it up. Anyway, it's a little HPCS, my second Iwata. Used to use the Talons. Always wanted to be All-American, but you know, they make a really good airbrush. They're really dependable and work. You know, their parts are inexpensive, but I just really fight with the performance. And you know, once I got an Iwata, this one here, I got it off eBay. You know, like I said, you know, we're all on a budget, so I mean, took a risk, bought an airbrush off eBay, looked really good, won the bid. It's an HPC Plus. Man, changed everything, changed the whole game. You're only as good as your tools. And I'm a carpenter, so I know the feeling, you know, whenever somebody says, oh no, you know, the airbrush doesn't make the artist. Well, to an extent, it does. If you have to fight with this brush tooth and nail to make it do what you want it to do, then it's not worth it. If you're just starting out, you can get you a cheaper airbrush, but you know, once you get good, and you know, don't fight your airbrush. Don't ever fight your tools. It's not worth it. But anyway, back to this thing. See if you can see it here. She's pretty ugly right now, but you can see I got starting to work in some tones and some highlights and stuff, and got this really cool skull thing, crown hanging off the top of her head or something. I don't know. Her eyebrows aren't going to be white, I promise. But there's going to be a lot more detail, and once I start on you know, building this thing up, I'll start doing the reductive technique. I really won't do it on the skin. You know, I have an issue with not an issue, but a lack of understanding and ignorance, if you will. You know, how small do you need to, how big does a face need to be before you start putting texture in the skin? I mean, I see these guys doing these awesome, huge